Welcome to the Positive Pants Podcast. Mindset, motivation and inspiration to help you find your positive pants. Let go of negative thinking and stop living for the weekend. With your host, Fran Excel.
So welcome to the show. As always, it's Fran Excel Mindset Coach, helping you find your very own pair of positive pants so you can get out of your own way and live a life that you love. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm very grateful you've chosen to put me in your earbuds today. Please do hit the subscribe button so you don't miss anything, and do leave me a review. I love reading them, and it really helps me get found by other people who need to hear what I share. I'd also love you to email me your mindset and productivity questions or topics you'd love me to cover to hello@franexcel.com, because I know a lot of you think I'm inside your heads because you tell me all the time. But if I don't know what you need, I can't give it to you. So let me know. So, patience is a virtue. So why is it so lemon hard? So, patience is a virtue, right? It is. But it can also be so damn hard to practice. Patience is something we tend to need in droves when we're making any big changes or starting or running a business. But it really can be one of the hardest things that we do. Go figure. Thanks, brain. We want it to happen now. Many people also lose patience on this journey and give up, which is one of the things that I did, when I had my jewelry business before, that I often talk about. But it's often just before a breakthrough. And there's a great Thomas Edison quote to emphasize this. And it goes a little something like this. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. And that, coming from the person who also said, I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. I really think it's an opinion worth listening to. So being patient means that we have to accept that we're living in a moment of uncertainty. And when our brains love certainty, it can make it feel really difficult. And in the last few years, I've really seen impatience being a big issue for business owners and anyone trying to make a big change too, of course. And it's something that I had to get used to as well. Think weight loss, new morning routines, diet, exercise, all the things where we know what to do to make the change, but we don't do it, or we don't stick to it because it feels too hard. So take the fad diets, for example, because as we know, if you've been following me for any length of time, I love a weight loss analogy. Everyone can get it. So you lose the weight really quickly through sacrificing certain foods or restricting calories. Does it ever actually stay off? Whereas if you lose it slowly and steadily over time and create a lifestyle change that actually works for you, you incorporate exercise that you actually enjoy, and it allows your unconscious habits to catch up with you, does it stay off then? And which process actually feels better? Yeah. So here's the thing. It's not just because you're frustrated at the time it takes for your business to grow. You're frustrated at what you're making it mean that it's taking so long for your business to grow. So what are you making it mean to you that you're not growing as fast as other people say you should, or you think you should? That you're not good enough? That you're not cut out for this? That other people are better than you and judging you for not being further ahead? Listen to those pesky little thoughts and catch them so you can actually challenge them, because they're not true, right? Nothing has any meaning except for the meaning you give it. I will consistently reiterate that, because I think that's a game changer. So when we're constantly bombarded with the how I made 6 figures in 6 months and I can teach you my exact steps, and if you're not sure how I feel about that, then listen to a few more episodes and you will. So we're seeing how doable it is, right? Everywhere we look, other people have done it, right? Apart from all the steps that they have missed out, the different backgrounds, circumstances, etc., etc. Oh! So because of these messages, it's looking easy. We're expecting that in 6 short months, we're going to be making 6 figures in our brand new business. And if we don't, we've failed. So let me get this straight. You're expecting to be able to understand business, marketing, nail your message, nail your niche, your ideal client, what products you want to sell, test everything, create your brand, your content, know how you want to work, actually work with people so you have testimonials, build a reputation, tame all the inevitable mindset groundings you've had since you were a kid, not to mention all the other things you need to learn or create, and make 6 figures. All in 6 months? With no help? What? Impatience clouds your judgment. It increases your frustration, which is the biggest driver of quitting. And it makes the mindset gremlins go crazy. So all those, why haven't you done it yet? Other people have. Why aren't you where they are? They must be so much better than you. You know, all those lovely little ways that we talk to ourselves. Yeah. It can really cause you to self-sabotage and not make the best decisions for you. It can cause you to be impulsive. And I don't mean in the romantic, ooh, I'm being really spontaneous kind of way, you know, impulsive. Things where you've not thought them through. Great things take time. Give yourself that. Seriously, I've seen a lot of people rush a launch or a new business or a new product, not actually feeling prepared and then sabotaging their efforts in the process. And remember, with so much else, patience is a habit. One you can learn and increase over time. Practice makes perfect. So how do you become more patient? You practice it. Yeah. It really does allow us to be more mindful, which is always good when making decisions. And also, being mindful is another great way to practice patience. Yeah. Patience allows us to let go of the attachment to the outcome. You know, let go of that time limit where we're saying it should happen. You know, goals are there for a reason and they're there to guide us. But when we create this massive attachment to the outcome, that's where it can get tricky. And it allows us, patience really does allow us to trust more that the things are going to happen in the right way at the right time for us. Yeah. Sometimes when you're impatient, you can do something, rush something, and you're not ready for it. And that's when it all falls down around you. You know, you see it with a lot of people. So what else does it do? It helps us be far more resilient. Yeah. We learn to get comfortable being uncomfortable. You know, and practicing patience also means that you take on the right opportunities and the right clients for you. It also means that all of those little too good to be true opportunities will be far more considered and analyzed for what they really are, which is good marketing, right? You know, it allows you to take the time to be more analytical, question things more, look at them from all angles and tweak things as you go along. This is where having a coach or somebody to be accountable to is so important, to be able to bounce these things off. Yeah. So you don't make the mistakes that you're trying to avoid. Yeah. And rather than rushing in with both feet saying, I want a membership and I want it now, setting it up, getting people in there, realizing you've created the opposite of the freedom that you were actually aiming for. This doesn't mean you can't have a membership if that's what you want. It just means that you take the time to make sure it's really what you want and set it up in a way that fits with what you want for your life. Yeah. So only book in regular calls at a time that fits for you, that you can do when you're doing other things, that don't mean, you know, that you can't go on holiday or whatever. Just think about these things. Being patient allows us to do that. You know, you don't have to have everything tomorrow. It doesn't mean you're not going to take action. Quite the opposite. When you take action, let go of the attachment to the result and know that your efforts will pay off, then that is a really freaking powerful position to be in. And it's also a lot more fun. You know, there's so many people, me involved. I have to catch myself doing this, you know, not enjoying the process. You know, so often we push, trying to get to the end result. But pushing is the definition of something being moved further away. You know, so what if you just stop pushing and actually enjoyed the journey? The push and the hustle doesn't feel good. We're not celebrating our successes. We're not taking the time to analyze and tweak. It's stressful, it's frustrating, and it knocks our confidence. You know, and there is no magical unicorn moment in time where we get everything that we want, and all of a sudden we're like, oh, I can breathe now. There's always something else. So you may as well enjoy the journey. So there's 2 things that I find really, really helpful in practicing patience. One is understanding how we learn new things, and understanding why it's so hard to make a change. And I've got another episode on that called How What is it called? Why making a change always feels so hard. So that is their view. It goes through the 4 stages of learning. That is an inevitable part of the process and something that we all go through. When you understand that, it feels so much easier. And also learning and practicing reframing. And there's another episode on that. It's one of the early ones. So go back there. I'll link it all up. Being able to be mindful and ask yourself what you can do about the situation. What's the potential good thing about the situation, and how else could you look at it? You know, it's all a choice, as I'm always telling you. These things take time. It takes our unconscious mind time to form new habits and catch up with what our conscious wants to do. That's why it feels like such a struggle. Your unconscious and your conscious are battling with what they're trying to achieve for you. Yeah, it takes time to learn all the things you need to learn. It takes time to know how you really want to run your business, you know, who you want to work with and what works for you. So stop giving yourself a hard time for not getting where you want to be in record time. Time. It'll just stop you enjoying the journey. Allow yourself the permission for it to take time and know that you are exactly where you need to be right now. Yeah? So, if you got value from this and you know in your gut that now is the time to step up and start rewiring your thinking and changing things for yourself, then book in a free discovery call so we can work out what needs to happen to get you from where you're at right now to the action-taking success you know you can be. And if you want my eyes and ears on your problems, I work with people one-on-one and through my Proactive Pants Mastermind. So stop waiting for if and when and decide to change things now, because you can. And as always, I hope that was helpful. So any questions, just let me know. And as always, I will see you next week. Bye.